speaking of hamburgers, we'll get into the first news item that I have in the pod, and I haven't really looked into this very deeply. I saw things people posted on just before coming onto this. I saw like posts on like Instagram or Twitter and things like that. But apparently PETA has put out this list of words or phrases um, that use animal food metaphors or analogies or idioms, and they are suggesting that we replace them with more inclusive vegan and vegetarian it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. It hurts my brain. It hurts my brain, and I can't believe people waste their time on things like this. Because they're like they want us to start using like more like vegetarian or vegan, because they're afraid that talking about meat in front of a vegan or a vegetarian is going to trigger them. It's like, what, just go have a slab of bacon. Go eat a slab of bacon and leave me alone. All right. Because no one who eats bacon can be angry at me. So, I mean, honestly, one of the things was like instead of saying bringing home the bacon, it's like bringing home like the turnips or something like that. It's just like, man, it hurts my brain. It really does. I don't know if this was just a big troll. I really don't know. I really don't know. But it hurts my brain. It hurts my brain to think about such things. Because who cares if if idioms are inclusive or not? It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Because the reason why the reason why they use meat as a like a metaphor or an idiom or or yeah, like especially like that idiom, bring home the bacon. The reason why is because meat was expensive. Meat was expensive. It cost a lot. Back in the day, it cost a lot of money. I mean, bacon's not particularly cheap nowadays, but back in the there was a reason why the people didn't incorporate a lot of meat in their diet, because it was really expensive. It was really expensive, and so someone who can bring home the bacon is someone who is either doing very well for themselves in their jobs, or they're the providers. They're the providers of the bacon. And the bacon is just a stand-in for money. It's like someone who can bring home the money. That's all that means. It's talking about money. But now PETA is saying like, oh no, we got to be inclusive to the to the vegans, to the vegetarians. It's like, who cares? Who cares? You know what? They can still use the words. Do you think by just saying, oh, bringing home the bacon, or what's another meat based? Actually, you know what? This is like, hold on. I just want to look up the list of words real quick for you. Let me see. It's just, oh, here we go. Oh yeah, like killing two birds with one stone. Like feed two birds with one stone. But that's not the idiom. You know. Killing two birds with one stone. Again, it's about it kind of goes back to providing. But also but it also indicates you being an effective provider because you're able to do two things with one action. That's all it's conveying. You can that you're an effective and efficient provider. That's all it is. Be the guinea pig. Be a guinea pig. That just sad to say they do use rodents for some experiments. And how you feel about it is how you feel about it. But again, the mere utterance of the word guinea pig does not mean that you are personally responsible for that animal being harmed. Beating a dead horse. Beating a dead horse. Basically trying to convey the futility of one's action. That's what it kind of feels like what I'm doing right now. It feels like I'm being a dead horse. The reason that like trying to trying to trying to explain this and parse this all out. It feels like it feels like I'm taking crazy pills. I guess the last one. Take the bull by the horns. Okay, well, this one isn't that the alternative one. This one isn't that bad because the alternative that they say you ought to say is take the flower by the thorns. And I guess I don't mind that one so much. But again, it's like, but a flower's not trying to kill you. And the bull is just an analog or a substitute for a dangerous situation. That can go any sort of direction. But then also the horns are another dangerous element. It's just taking the bull by the horns is just someone who will take on the hard task, the difficult task. That's all that it's saying. That's all that it's meaning. This idea of changing words or obfuscating this somehow violence within the words themselves. It's maddening to me. It's maddening. Because I might have gone on one of these rants the last time I was solo. I went solo for a stream, but I know, dang, I must be getting all worked up because I'm starting to sweat. But the idea that words are somehow violence is just ridiculous to me. And I hope it's ridiculous to you because I say or I make certain sounds with my mouth that somehow physically impacts somebody else. I totally grant the calls to action. Like, go get him, beat his ass, burn it down. I totally understand the calls to violence, but merely opposing someone's point of view, or not agreeing with what they espouse, as violence. It's just like there's a simple test. There's really a simple test, and that's all you have to do is go up. Someone who says words are violence, just go up to them and say, "You want my words or do you want my fist?" And that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say to them. And if they say your word, then you got them, because then they are making the they're making what is it? They're being at least honest in saying that there is a difference. That there is a difference between my words and my actions.